Sadanandana Raja Janardan Yasadanandana Rajadanarana Yasodanandana Rajadanarana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tera Vanachari Yamuna Tera Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishnu Bhutale Srimati Gopal Krishna Vishnu Prabhupada Saitanya Prakasha Vityaja Charankaran Shadapati Maha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnanam Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam dadati swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalang Shri Gurung Vaisnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Visabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivas Adi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. We continue reading from the last week's Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 3 of the Adilila, the external reasons for Lord Chaitanya's appearance. Text number 39. 49? Are you sure? Oh, okay. Suvarṇa-varṇo hemāṅgo varāṅgaś candanāṅgadī sannyāsa-kṛc chamaḥ śānto niṣṭhā-śānti-parāyaṇaḥ suvarṇa-varṇo hemāṅgo varāṅgaś candanāṅgadī sannyāsa-kṛc chamaḥ śānto niṣṭhā-śānti-parāyaṇaḥ suvarṇa-varṇo hemāṅgo varāṅgaś candanāṅgadī sannyāsa-kṛc chamaḥ śānto niṣṭhā-śānti-parāyaṇaḥ. Mataji's. Word for word meaning suvarna, of gold. Varna, having the color. Hema-aṅgaḥ, whose body was like molten gold. Vara-aṅgaḥ, having a most beautiful body. Candana-aṅgadī, whose body was smeared with sandalwood. Sannyāsa-kṛt, practicing the renounced order of life. Śamaḥ, equipoised. Śāntaḥ, peaceful. niṣṭhā, devotion. śānti, and of peace. Parāyaṇaḥ, the highest resort. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada K. In his early pastimes, he appears as a householder with a golden complexion. His limbs are beautiful and his body is smeared with the pulp of sandalwood. Seems like molten gold. In his later pastimes, he accepts the sannyas order and he is equipoised and peaceful. He is the highest abode of peace and devotion, for he silences the impersonalist non-devotees. Everybody please repeat. In his early pastimes, he appears as a householder with a golden complexion. His limbs are beautiful, and his body smeared with the pulp of sandalwood. Seems like molten gold. In his later pastimes, he accepts the sannyas order, and he is equipoised and peaceful. He is the highest abode of peace and devotion, for he silences the impersonalist non-devotees. Purport. This is a verse from the Mahabharata, Dana Dharma, Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra. In his commentary on the Vishnu Sahasranam called the Nama-artha Shuddha, Srila Baladev Vidyabhusan, commenting upon this verse, asserts that Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead according to the evidence of the Upanishads. He explains that suvarṇa-varṇo means a golden complexion. He also quotes the Vedic injunction, Yadha pasya pasyate rukma varnam kartaram isham purusang brahma yonim. Mundaka Upanishad, Canto 3, Chapter 1, Text 3. Rukma varnam kartaram isham refers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead as having a complexion the color of molten gold. Purusam means the Supreme Lord, and Brahmayonim indicates that he is also the Supreme Brahman. This evidence, too, proves that Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Another meaning of the description of the Lord as having a golden hue is that Lord Chaitanya's personality is as fascinating as gold is attractive. Srila Baladev Vidyabhusan has explained that the word varāṅgaḥ means exquisitely beautiful. Lord Chaitanya accepted sannyas, leaving aside his householder life to preach his mission. He has equanimity in different senses. First, he describes the confidential truth of the personality of Godhead, and second, he satisfies everyone by knowledge and attachment to Krishna. He is peaceful because he renounces all topics not related to the service of Krishna. Srila Baladev Vidyabhusan has explained that the word niṣṭhā indicates his being rigidly fixed in chanting the holy name of Sri Krishna. Lord Chaitanya subdued all disturbing opponents of devotional service, especially the monists, who are actually averse to the personal feature of the Supreme Lord. Suvarṇa-varṇo hemāṅgo, varāṅgaś candanāṅgadī, sannyāsa-kṛc chamaḥ śānto, niṣṭhā-śānti-parāyaṇaḥ. Suvarṇa-varṇo hemāṅgo. So the color of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not the same color as Lord Krishna, even though there is no difference between Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Isvara Parama Krishna Sachit Ananda Vigraha. The form of the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, is Sachit Ananda, full of knowledge, bliss, and eternity. The same with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And for that matter, there is no difference also between Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Ramachandra, and Lord Nrsimhadev. They are equal. But Lord Krishna is the fountainhead. He is the source of everyone. All the amsas, all the incarnations are included in the body of Lord Krishna. The same with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All the incarnations, expansions of the Supreme Lord are also included within the body of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he did not proclaim himself as a Supreme Lord. Unlike in the Bhagavad Gita, he told Arjuna that he is God. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came concealed as a devotee. There are external reasons and there are internal reasons why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared 500 years ago. The external reason primarily is to fulfill the calling of Advaita Acharya. Because 500 years ago, irreligious practices are being performed. So many sinful activities 500 years ago. What to say now? And what to say in the future? We still have 427,000 years more to go. And we can see now how degraded the society is. Humankind needs to be saved from this calamity of being non-believers of God. So 500 years ago, Advaita Acharya Prabhu, who is none other than Lord Vishnu and Sadashiva combined, he could have saved the whole universe himself. But for a specific reason, also, he cried day and night, asking for the Supreme Lord to come and rescue the human society. And therefore, by worshiping Shalagram Shila and also the Abhishek coming from Ganga, the Lord appeared. One of the reasons also, external reasons, why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared 500 years ago is to propagate the Yuga Dharma. The chanting of the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In previous ages, people are more pious. Satya Yuga, just by meditation for 60,000 years at least, they can attain also love of God by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Treta Yuga, they will perform so elaborate yagyas. And they used to live for 10,000 years in those days. They will use gold as utensils. Nowadays, we use wood in yagya. And they use pure cow's ghee. Nowadays, everything is adulterated. And one can attain also love of God. And recently, 5,000 years ago, before the descent of Kali Yuga, the process is that of deity, what's that? Deity worship. Deity worship. And they will attain love of God also. So, in Kali Yuga, especially, again, people they don't have any inclination to be saved from the cycle of repeated birth and death. And so Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came for that reason, to propagate the easiest method, not by karma, not by yoga, not by cultivation of knowledge that one can be delivered, simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord as prescribed from different scriptures, Kali-Santar Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, so many from the Vedic scriptures, says the best way is the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra is like the commander-in-chief, even of the emperor. The chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the means and is also the end. What does that mean? The sandhya and also the goal. The best sadhana is chanting. But it is the most difficult to do because we don't have taste. We are so much in ignorance. We've been told that we have to chant minimum 16 rounds every day, prescribed number of rounds. But how many are chanting after that? Even though Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord and not to commit any offenses to anyone, especially the Vaishnavas, not to criticize the Vaishnavas. One can go back home, back to Godhead. So another reason why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came externally is that because 5,000 years ago, Lord Krishna himself, he was not able to give love of God for a long time. His time that he spent was 125 years. But this chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra will go on for the next 10,000 years. And so Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to perform that process whereby by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, especially in this Kali Yuga, one can attain Braja Prem. The Yuga Dharma for every Kali Yuga is to chant Hare Krishna or the holy name of the Lord. But especially in this day and age where we are right now, how fortunate we are. 5,000 years ago, Lord Krishna came. 500 years ago, Lord Chaitanya came. And therefore, the avatar, the incarnation, the form of incarnation of the Supreme Lord in Kali Yuga is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord for the next 10,000 years. And after that, no more Haribol, Haribol. That's it. So how fortunate we are. We are in this age, and many of us are not taking it of importance. We should prioritize, especially the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because everything that we do reflects on how we chant the holy name of the Lord. What we do during the whole day will reflect how we chant during the kirtan. There are two types of chanting, japa and sankirtan. So how we chant our japa will reflect on how we perform or join in the sankirtan yagya. We can do many service, but if our chanting is not trying to avoid the offenses, then it is not accepted 100%. The chanting is the most important. In the beginning, in the middle, and in the end, after attaining love of God by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra and other processes of bhakti, we will still continue to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It will not stop there. It will keep on going and going and going. And even in the spiritual world, where we will have that loving relationship with the Supreme Lord, we will still continue the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Srila Prabhupada, so merciful. This is the first quality of the 26 qualities of a pure devotee. That was described by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami. Kripalu, merciful. How merciful Srila Prabhupada. Unbelievable. Unfathomable. He sacrificed so much to give us his books, and in his books, the purpose of his books is to convince us to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Nothing else. So along with chanting, we should read his books. I know some devotees that like the kirtan, but they don't want to chant japa. I know. They like kirtan so much, but when it comes to japa, they may do it or they may not do it. So there are 3 stages also of chanting. Namaparat, Namabas, and Sudanam. And I was reading this morning, the root cause also of offenses is disruption, inattentiveness. That means if you're inattentive, the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra will be disrupted. It'll stop. If you're attentive and just hearing the holy name of the Lord, it's like recently, Jayadvaita Swami, he wrote this book according to the scriptures and according to Srila Prabhupada's teachings and according to some of our kirtanayas, senior devotees in ISKCON, the standard in chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You have that book, right? I was given that book by His Holiness in Mayapur during the Tirubhav-Titi Mahotsav of His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami. We should read, all of us should read this. And especially in Vrindavan, there is a certain standard. Because whatever we do in Vrindavan, it's like there is a ripple effect. The whole world follows. So we have to be careful here also. Whatever we do here, not just chanting, everything that we do. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's color is golden. Suvarṇa-varṇo hemāṅgo. He concealed himself when he came 500 years ago. Because when he took sannyas from Keshava Bharati, he did not change his name. His name, Krishna Chaitanya. Usually, when you take sannyas, hopefully not from Mayavadis, then you will change your name. There's, according to Mayavad sannyas, there are different names. It is also mentioned here in Chaitanya Charitamrita, those different names. So he did not change his name. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Radha Krishna combined. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. He came, see, the internal reasons now why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. He wanted to know the love of Srimati Radharani towards him. Now he doesn't know, he cannot explain this. What is it Radharani's love towards me? Lord Krishna cannot understand, cannot fathom this. Also to taste the conjugal love of Srimati Radharani. That he cannot understand this as well. He cannot figure this out. And what is the feelings that he has towards Srimati Radharani? That he cannot figure this out also. So he has to come as a devotee to also teach us how to become a devotee. See how merciful, how kind the Supreme Lord. He did not leave us alone and, okay, you figure it out how you can become my devotee. Lord Krishna's teachings to Arjuna, just surrender everything. Become my devotee. Do not worry, I will protect you. How to do that? Become a devotee. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in the mood of Srimati Radharani. What is the color of Srimati Radharani? Golden. Golden means pure. Just like when Mother Yasoda, when that day of the Damodar Lila, Mother Yasoda's sari is what color? Golden, golden yellow. But she doesn't wear golden yellow every day. What is the color of Yasoda's sari? The color of Krishna also. Because she wanted to be reminded of Lord Krishna. Is that correct? Yes. But on that day, so that she wanted to make sure that everything that she will do for Lord Krishna, cooking, mithai, and everything, churning the yogurt to become butter, to be pure, she decided to wear yellow. This is the significance of yellow. And also Srimati Radharani's love for Krishna is unadulterated. And for that matter, also of the gopis. The gopis' love towards Lord Krishna cannot be compared. Pure. As Prabhupada would say, unalloyed. When he went to America, and the first thing he saw under the bridge, he says, unalloyed steel in Boston. That means no mixture. Unlike the milk in Vrindavan. They say, oh, yes, this is cow's milk. To be sure, if you have that fortune to get the milk from our Goshala, that is 100%. But before it comes here, no way. Not possible. Not guaranteed. But the love of the gopis guaranteed, pure, serene, 100% surrendered unto the Supreme Lord. And Srimati Radharani, she is the topmost gopi. Her love towards Lord Krishna, no one can surpass. She has this emotion of Mahabhav, which only Srimati Radharani is having towards Lord Krishna. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, and he even appeared in the beginning life, in the early stage of his life, as a householder. Not just one time. He married twice to show us an example. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says the best ashram in Kali Yuga is what? Grihastha ashram. Because in Grihastha ashram, you will learn a lot, especially when you have a child. You want to have your child to be Krishna conscious. So for him or her to become Krishna conscious, you have to be Krishna conscious. How can you make your child to be Krishna conscious if you are a sense enjoyer? So you have to learn also. Grihastha ashram means a platform or an ashram where you learn how to become detached, not to increase sense enjoyment. So there's ashram, brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas. In these ashrams, the grihasthas, they have a license to enjoy, but not unrestricted enjoyment. Their enjoyment is restricted. It's not the same as getting a driver's license in India. You can go opposite direction. You don't have to stop on the stoplight. You can get your license under the table and you can drive. No, Grihastha ashram is a very responsible ashram. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he married twice, Vishnu Priya and Lakshmi Priya. And then later on, at the age of 24, he took sannyas. Srila Prabhupada says, I want all of my disciples, both boys and girls, to be sannyas. How is that? Prabhupada says also, all the male disciples should remain brahmacharis, and all the female disciples should get married. So how is that? How is that possible? Well, as much as possible. Brahmacharis should remain brahmacharis. But if there is an inclination for sense enjoyment, then one may get married. But responsible grihastha. In sannyas means sannyas is spirit. Srila Prabhupada wanted all of us that one day we will become detached from material things. Not just the men, also the women, both. And how we are detached, that means using everything in Krishna consciousness. Because sannyas means fully engaged 24 hours in Krishna consciousness. We've heard of Grihastha Brahmachari, right? You've heard of that? There is also Grihastha Sannyas. How is that? Grihastha Sannyas means the Grihastha is also engaged 24 hours in Krishna consciousness. That is sannyas. Sannyas is not the cloth. Sannyas means the consciousness. Sannyas means the heart. The change of heart from having so much anarthas, material desires, into clearing these anarthas and desires to ultimately have the heart be the sitting place of Lord Krishna. Krishna is already present there as Paramatma. But we've heard that Vrindavan also is in our heart. If Vrindavan is in our heart, that means Krishna is also in our heart. But we are not experiencing Vrindavan. Why? Because of our material attachments. And the greatest bondage in the material world is family life. Family life. The attraction towards the opposite sex. And for that matter, when the family or the grihastas or the husband and wife, they have a children, then the attachment becomes greater. And it becomes greater than that as soon as you have a grandchild. That's it. So the grihastas, they should not consider their children to be their property. You should consider your children as Krishna's, belonging to Krishna, and you are just there to take care of them. And when you take care of them, if your thoughts are like this, then you are also sannyas. So in the later pastimes, he accepts sannyas, and later on of his pastimes also of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he spent his time in Jagannath Puri. Now Jagannath Puri is very special. The feelings of separation of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has been experienced by him in the later part of his pastimes in Jagannath Puri, especially in Gambira, that room allocated for him, because most of the times he'll be just like fully absorbed in love of Krishna, that in the middle of the night they will find him somewhere in the middle of near the sea or somewhere. They cannot find him, so they have to lock him inside. And because of his separation towards the Supreme Lord, sometimes he will go like a mad person. He will scratch his face to the walls. He will profusely always be crying. And whenever he sees something which is close to Vrindavan, he will go immediately. Have you been to the temple of Tota Gopinath in Jagannath Puri? Yeah? There's a place there like Govardhan? Yes? And Radhakund? Yes? So he will, he's showing us that whatever we can see that is in relation to Krishna, we should always remind us of Krishna. How many of us are like that? Not many. Madhavendra Puri is one of them. Whenever he sees a rain cloud, he will faint. He'll be unconscious. Whenever he sees a tamal tree, he'll feel unconscious. Whenever he sees a peacock, he'll feel unconscious. Even a peacock feather, he will feel unconscious. So everything starts from chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I know one devotee, he's always chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra without the japamala. That's it. He's so attached to the chanting that whatever he does, he's always chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It is not that only, oh, Prabhu, where is my japamala? I need my japamala so I can chant Hare Krishna. No. Even within our mind, which is the most difficult part. Actually, there are three ways of chanting the holy name. Japa, kirtan, and through manasa, through the mind. And Haridas Thakur would finish his, how many rounds? 192 rounds in that way. Now, we cannot imitate Haridas Thakur. We cannot go under the Krishna Balaram tree, Parikrama Marg, and chant over there thinking that we will find Lord Krishna. No, we have to chant in association of devotees. If you chant alone in your room, it'll be you and your mind. And who will be the victorious one? The mind. Mostly we'll fall asleep and they will say, okay, I will chant my rounds later. Let me sleep right now. No. There was a story, Mr. Sethi. You remember Mr. Sethi? He used to come here. He was there in the very beginning of the Mumbai project, ISKCON Mumbai. So he was with Prabhupada. And there was no talking. He was just there. He just wanted to have darshan of Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada is not saying anything. And he did not move also. But he says that he can hear the holy name of the Lord from Srila Prabhupada without opening his mouth. So what level of Krishna consciousness is that? Because the highest level of a devotee is that when you see him, he does not have to talk. He does not have to speak. Just by seeing him, it'll make you think of Krishna immediately. Immediately. This is according to Chaitanya Charitamrita. Because the index of the mind is what? The face. You can tell a person who is angry. You can tell a person who is happy. You can tell a person who is... You cannot tell what is going on. But you can tell a person if he is Krishna conscious just by looking at him. Because of his sadhana and also of his level of Krishna consciousness. So Srila Prabhupada is like this. So we should take advantage, especially not just those who live in Vrindavan, but those who are visiting us. Make the best of your time here. Make the best of your time. As Prabhupada says, whenever you have time, chant Hare Krishna. Chant Hare Krishna. Huh? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is peaceful because he renounces all topics not related to the service of Krishna. So we should follow in his footsteps, okay? Not too much of the cell phones or the computer. It is a big distraction. Yesterday, I took away all the phones of the new bhaktas. It's not because I'm angry or upset with the phones, but it'll be a habit. How many times we have to take their phones? Every time I come, I see they have their phones, so I keep on taking them again and again. So this time, I want to make sure only if their parents will call, we have one phone. Or if they want to make a call to their parents, only one phone. Okay? Please, this technology can help us in Krishna consciousness, and also it can be our worst enemy if you don't know how to use that. Simple, peaceful, rigidly fixed in chanting the holy name of Sri Krishna. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also he chant to show us the way. I will stop here. Any questions or comments?
Although chanting Hare Krishna and reading is devotional service, but what about practical devotional service or doing something
Yes.
Not above and beyond, we should say, because you said that the essence of everything is reading
Sure.
and chanting the holy name, but Prabhupada also is expecting that just as he was working hard to propagate Krishna consciousness, how we can also participate in that.
We have to do some practical service. As Prabhupada says, sandwich. Morning program, evening program, and in the middle we should be busy. We have many projects, programs, book distribution, food for life. We have accounting, there you go. He's busy. We have cow protection. We have Goshala. What else? We have 24-hour kirtan. Okay, that's chanting again, but that is also many, many things we can be involved.
Sometimes devotees feel that sweeping and cleaning is not good, that we have cleaners for that purpose. What about sweeping and cleaning and menial service?
I remember first time coming here in Vrindavan, 1987, the brahmacharis used to clean the temple room, and we will have a good time in the evening.
They didn't have phones back then.
Huh?
They didn't have telephones back then.
No, they don't. You see, that's why we chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. We're asking for service from Srimati Radharani. And sometimes, devotees, they will chant and says, and you ask them for service and says, oh, no, Prabhu, don't disturb me, I'm chanting my rounds. But how much more? So, yes, we have to spend some time in practical service, because this is the way how we can ascertain. When we have the taste for chanting, we should also have the taste for service. Any ways, any kinds. As Prabhupada says, in the early days, the test for a devotee, for him to be able to stay in the ashram, is that he will wash pots. And washing the Lord's pots and utensils is cleansing of one's heart. I know one devotee in Montreal, Prabhupada's disciple. You know what his main service is? Washing pots. Prabhupada's disciple. And he told me one day, Maharaj, if I don't wash the pot, even for one day, I don't feel the same. I feel uneasy. Don't think that sweeping the floor is different than doing the puja. No. If no one will clean the floor or sweep the area, how will we be able to attract the newcomers in Krishna consciousness? How will be they saying, if this must be the cleanest temple in Vrindavan. Other temples, yes, they have cleaners, but here, because our devotees are very busy, well, some of them, or say most of them, but some of our devotees, they're not so busy. Prabhupada says in Vrindavan, those who stay here, the inmates, should do 8 hours of service, practical 8 hours of service every day. I know some devotees, they're there from the morning till they close. We have examples like that. So this is a big task for me also as well, because I'm looking after the brahmacharis, and it's a big challenge for us. We have a brahmachari council, how to engage them. If we are going to follow what Prabhupada says, half of the ashram will be empty. But we don't want to do that. We want to give everyone a chance. But how much more can we give that chance? So we would like to encourage them again and again and again. Practical service. It should be. Yes, Prabhu.
That's why he has a danda.
No, I use this for the monkeys. when I use this for the brahmacharis, they should be careful. Srila Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So it's all very practical. When I was in Mayapur, I did notice the brahmacharis cleaning the temple every evening when they closed the temple. Yes, I have pictures if you don't believe it. So how do we practically apply these things? We sit here every day. Yesterday, Sankarshan says, if you have a beard, Prabhupada said, if you wear a beard, you're not my disciple. And today we say, half the brahmacharya ashram will be emptied out if we tried to follow Prabhupada's instructions.
We will use the danda someday.
So do we just say these things and then we go back to what we do? Or?
Today we're going to have a meeting, the Brahmachari Council, and let's see. We're not going that far. As much as possible, Prabhupada always give chance. And Vrindavan, we don't want to commit Vaisnava Parad especially.
He's telling me to calm down. But this is an ashram after all, yes?
Yes, it's not a hotel. Prabhupada says ashram is not meant for crazies and lazies.
Yes, he said that in Hawaii. He said it in a few places, I believe. Yeah. Thank you.
They're good. They're good souls. They just need to be educated, and hopefully sooner they'll realize the value of being in Vrindavan. I would say half of the fault is us. It's not their fault. Proper training, proper education, we need to do that. And that's why we are here for. Okay? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ke, Srila Prabhupada ke, Nitai Gaur Sitanath Premanande. Hari Om Tat Sat.